You're muted, Julius. Still muted. Can't hear you.
Oh, okay, okay. Oh, all right, all right. Awesome, awesome. Can you guys hear me now?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. More people coming in as we speak. More people coming in. We have about 18 people right now. Um, but yeah, so yeah, guys. So we have Ifani here, one of my partners. He's also the CEO of Conscious Marketing. Um,
Just markets.
yeah, Conscious Market. He's really, really brilliant guy. So yeah, guys. So today he's gonna be taking over the call, kind of just like, elaborating more, answering any questions you guys may have about the properties that we went over in the past. So I'm gonna let him take the floor, and if you guys have any questions, you can ask him now, right?
Recording in progress.
Fortress
Awesome.
and everything. So all right, go ahead. You can take the call.
Awesome. Thank you, Julius. Yeah, and like I said to you before, I love what y'all are doing with this community. This is a lot of how I really got started as well, was, getting the credit together and going after, credit offers and being able to put that towards business. And so really excited to be able to give back in a way that launched the Impact Company. My career, I started off first of all, grew up in the DMV area, just continued further west, went out to school at USC, graduated in business, was on Wall Street. For a while after that, I decided, I really wanted to go to more place where I have more of my own people, my own control. So I came back to California, worked in more boutique groups for different years, all across asset management and investment banking. Did global investment banking, traveling between here all the way to Dubai, the UAE, to do deals with small to medium sized companies. And so that's really been my area of expertise. And then we launched Conscious Markets Group. It's an impact investment company. We're an advisor to fund managers as well as to nonprofits, municipalities, and we also are launching our own funds and raising our own assets. So we currently manage some assets, some funds. We have about 7 figures of assets. So we launched actually about 2022. So really, it was leveraging business credit and things of that nature to really get this off the ground, to get legal infrastructure, and to build what we have today. And now we have engineers, we have leadership team with about 100 years of experience, and we have clients that are everything from churches to institutional real estate managers. And we're really building the bridge. We believe that you can get the impact, you can get the return as well as the impact on your investment. And so that's the goal, is helping people to build that bridge between the institutional capital and on the ground impact investing, retail investments, and building opportunities that connect both, so that capital is flowing, yet there's still entryways for all different kind of investors. So I'll give you an example. The tiny home investment opportunity. You could invest in our tiny home villages, or you could invest in a tiny home in your own backyard and generate a very similar return managed by yourself. And so we provide I would say, the resources as well as the advisory to do both. So what I kind of want to do today is share my screen primarily to walk y'all through our landing page, and I will put this important page here as well in the chat so that you can watch these videos again on your own time. We have some short videos I'll show here today that will kind of give you an overview of what these are. All right, so do I have share permission? All right, I
Yeah,
do.
yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
There we go. So for those on mobile, this might be a little hard to see. And so what I'll do here is I'll play a video here too, so you can see it a little bit larger and also put on some volume. But we're using ADUs, which is basically a short frame for accessory dwelling unit, to is basically a tiny home to solve the housing crisis as well as create investment return. And so this can be used in so many situations. And so what you're going to see on this page is really where we poured out our heart and soul for y'all to see essentially what was our line of thinking from beginning to end. What was our line of thinking from beginning to end? This page actually tells the story, and it's not that long. So it starts off with when we were approached by ADU manufacturers And we began to look at it. My partners have been doing that for the last 15, 20 years, right? They're engineers. And so we not only were looking at the innovation of this, we're also looking at technology, AI technology that we can use to analyze properties to see if they can fit ADUs and what the ROI can look like and kick that out for us on a systematic basis. So we built up over the last year also this technology that we use to help fuel essentially our sales team as well as the mission, right? So we're technologists, we're innovators, and we're fund managers, and we're all diverse. It's completely diverse, minority owned organization. So what you see right now is the actual building, what the unit looks like. It comes fully furnished. So it'll look just like this when it arrives, 2 bedroom, right? And there's so many use cases for this because you have to think about even disaster situations, even when you just want to build on your property or renovate your home, where you're going to stay during that process. You can even build this in your use. So this has so much value to a property. The average property boost is about 30% boost to the value of your property by building one of these with as low as a 3% money down payment with the financing that we arranged. And so that's really what is really unique also is, so you can see the bathroom, you can see how nice it, the tiling and all that is, right? And the financing is really what's unique is we are a financing organization. So we help to really get the impact financing. Whereas if you try to buy this before, some of y'all may have looked into this, it's like 25% money down. We got a 3% down, 5%, and 10% down products with our lenders across the United States. So that wasn't ever previously available to people. So what people don't know is they never even received this game yet. So this hasn't even, because they're still looking at 25% money down. When you have this and you include all the other costs, that can be $25,000 because this product itself is about 70,000 or something like 80,000 in that range. And so when you add on other costs, installation, it comes to about $100,000. So when you get a mortgage, if you have to put 25% down, that's 25,000 right there. And so that's so high, you might as well get a home. And so now we have the option of 3, 5%, 10% mortgage, 30-year mortgage. And it's just where the timing, the calling, and what God has planned for solving this housing crisis in this timing, that people can create sustainable housing, generational housing, right? So that's the other thing. We talked about the housing crisis, 580,000 homeless, right? What else is part of that home? Also, the rising trend of young adults living at home. So of course there's a shortage of affordable rental homes, but then there's young adults living at home, parents, and then you have older seniors also living at home as well because of the high cost of care right now. And so because of all the things going on right now, high rent, student loans, job insecurity, young people are delaying their traditional milestones like moving out and starting a family. And so we provide the private independent space through this for you to have for your family members. In fact, in Africa, we call this the boys' quarters. Everybody has it because everybody's so family focused. And so no longer families crammed up in one house. The property that has this is worth 40 or 30% more than its neighbor property without this. So it's worth more than a pool by far, right? Um, it's worth more than basically any other feature you can add to your property. And with as little as 3% money down, what's 3% of 100,000? That's $3,000, right? Up front. And a mortgage of something like less than $1,000 a month. So we're going to get into that economics here in a second further as well. So here are some pictures of what, and we're going to get into the economics of renting out these as well. So this is some pictures of what it looks like, and we have different types. This is just one unit. We have another unit that's also a little bit more stylish. It has bigger windows, but it's stackable as well. So you can stack it up on top or side by side. So you can double the size of these, or double, or even triple. All right, so let me continue navigating through some of these pictures. You can see, site plans. This is some bigger ones. Yeah, just comes with all the stuff you see: heating, AC, TV. So somebody can really live immediately, and it can stand up with dignity as compared to like an RV or a trailer home, right? So all of the tiny homes come with solar ready rooftops. energy efficient insulation and windows, water saving fixtures, eco-friendly materials. They're made with steel, so they're completely up to code and made with steel. So what that means is you got an approval rate where you know this is going to be a good if you pre-order it, because you're going to get approved. Number one, it was made with California architects, and it was made with really, architects in places where there's a high standard of code. And then the steel is also extremely powerful because it's not going to be, susceptible to fires, to water. These survived the Florida hurricanes, right? So these are about 430 square feet, 2 bedrooms. You can do the stackable to make it larger. Or we can even help you to even look at potential other options, because we have other builders in our network where it might not be a manufactured home, but they might actually come onto your property and build something custom. And those are going to be more expensive, but you might have a specific style you're looking for and want to do that as well. So that's not out of the realm of possibility for us as well. We also can connect you with our people who are high quality builders in every state. Pretty much, we have representatives, and so this is a better alternative to RV mobile homes. This is the future of the future mobile park is a tiny home village. It's increased the value of what you own, because now you own that and you have the land underneath. You have an appreciating asset as opposed to a depreciating asset, right? So if you when you want to, you can actually put on this video as well when you go back and check out this link, and you'll see another walkthrough of our associate, our colleague here.
Ladies and gentlemen,
So
welcome to the future of tiny homes in the US, under 30 square feet unit. As you can see, this is the pinnacle of comfort and efficiency. Here we have our kitchenette. All the appliances you see are included. A large fridge and freezer. Area for cooking and cleaning your dishes. High density. Our very comfortable space to stretch out together. ACs, this large area, and one in each bedroom for maximum. Folds down.
you can see how well they use the space, and it's built wide, so it looks bigger than it is.
Ensuring that you constantly always doing it's a master bed.
All right, so
storage built in. Everyone can keep their things inside.
Right, and then it has a second bedroom. As you can see, it really just has everything that you need, even for a family to hang out in here. So now it's getting more into the numbers, right? First of all, the fast streamlined construction process. All right, so because these are built in factories where we've gotten these designs already up to code, if you, for example, were to try to buy a tiny home from a builder, a lot of times they'll say it's going to take a year before we can actually get to you because we have such a large queue. Because to build, it takes so much time to build one at a time. Whereas if you do factory build, they also are pre-approved basically, so you can build them confidently. So they have more people building at scale, and so not many though, because it's still a new space, and so the innovators in this space are the ones right now that are really able to produce for the first time in like a decade something for the masses that they can afford, and now we have the financing to go with it. So tax benefits. So building an ADU may qualify you for local and state tax incentives, such as tax breaks and grants for affordable housing. So we can also help people navigate these opportunities to maximize their investment. And then potential for long-term rental income. Number one thing, generate passive income through long-term rental contracts in high-demand areas. You know, a two-bedroom ADU in California and New York, like top markets, are known to generate between $2,000 and $4,000 in monthly rental income, right? And so you get the immediate ROI on your property of 20 to 40%. And then from an annual cash flow perspective, you also get 20 to 40% on your initial investment every single year. So with the mortgage, we're talking terms up to 30 years, interest rates around 5 to 9%, and a low down payment as low as 3% with a minimum credit score of 620. In many cases, there's no collateralization of existing property need, and you also get 10-year structural warranty on our units, on our steel units. The other units, if there's something custom, it's different, but for our steel units, it's a 10-year structural warranty as well. So with our financing, you can spread out the costs and start earning rental income and increasing your property value almost immediately. The other thing that this is big for that really struck us is post-disaster housing. And we created this before even the fires happened in Los Angeles, which is where we were based primarily, Ranchos Palos Verdes. So we're south, so we didn't get hit with that. But ADUs are built to survive and a faster path to rebuilding in these extreme weather conditions. They are complying with modern safety codes. So, for example, people who were setting up RVs, people who were setting up camps on their property, they were being kicked off of their own property in Florida in certain places during the hurricane season. And I'm sure we're going to see that again right now in Los Angeles because they couldn't live on their property up to code. And FEMA was kicking people off. Now, why would they do that? Who knows why, right? But the fact that they can do that shows you the need for this type of solution. And how we help, again, in summary, so we would do the initial feasibility. If you give us an address, we'll for free put that address into our AI and kick out initial feasibility study for you, provide that to you. And then if you decide to move forward, we'll walk through the entire permitting process with you. Julius will be there involved with us. People you know will be involved. And we will connect you with the best financing options and then get you the general contractors as well. So you won't have to do anything other than to just open the door for the general contractor, and then they're going to take it over from there. And then we handle the delivery of the unit within 3 to 6 months from your order. So that's it. And it's real straightforward. But if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer. That's why I'm here, because there's a rare opportunity for me to be able to interface directly with people. Whereas we have people that are looking to work with us and have the ability to run this completely themselves, like Julius, who have great, immense knowledge of credit and investment, especially for retail investors. And so I'm actually blessed and thankful to work with brothers like this who make it my job easier as well. So I'll hand it back over to you, Julius. Thank you again.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So if you guys have any questions, man, you guys have his time. Go ahead, ask away. I wanted to dedicate this call directly for this. So you guys go ahead and floor is open for any questions.
Yes, I have a question. I wanted to know more about, you said it comes furnished. Does that impact the pricing as well? Or if you don't want it furnished, is it less than 100,000?
So it already comes furnished, so it doesn't impact the pricing at all. But if you didn't want it furnished, we could see what we could do if we could bring down the price. I'd talk to our manufacturer. Good question.
Okay, thank you. And in terms of the height, because I understand that'll probably be like a customized unit. So how much of a difference in terms of customizing it? Is it like 200,000, things of that nature?
Good question. So it kind of scales up. So, it's like if you wanted the two, it's basically like the price of 2 units. So now you would have a unit that is total 960 square feet.
Okay. Okay.
Right. So then that would basically be, but then the cost of installation would not double up, right? A certain cost would not double up, just the cost of that unit. So your total cost will probably be like you said, yeah, like around under 200,000 at that point. To get 2, you'd probably be, whereas with 1, it'd probably be between 100 to 130,000, depending on your state and jurisdiction. With 2, it'd probably be around 200,000.
Okay, Okay, one
Yes.
last question, please.
Hmm.
I noticed that you said something in regards to the coding. I did see in California where there aren't residents aren't able to go back to their homes. Can you elaborate more on that, please?
Yeah, well, right now I think that there is some zones where they're not able to go back to their homes. A lot of people are allowed to right now, but others, their homes which were destroyed, they're waiting for insurance claims right now too. So they have like first they have to, like you said, yes, they have to wait for it to be cleared for safety reasons, multiple weeks, and then they have to wait for insurance claims, which can be months, if ever, because they would like to play games as well. And so this option provides those people an option to return, build something on their home, have it built within 3 months, and be able to live there on their property. And also because, if you're not on your property, also you have these squatter laws and weird stuff as well in different states, especially like California. So they're creating a lot of issues right now for these landowners.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you.
Great questions. Yes.
Hi, good evening. So my question was in regards to the stackable units. Um,
Mhm.
with them being stacked, do they remain like individual separate units, or do we have like the option to, I guess, build like a stairway in there to make it one space?
Yes, make it one space with the stackable is our goal for either side by side or above. So that's the best way to do it, is to connect it with the stair or like that, the doorway, take out a wall of that nature.
Do you possibly have a unit like I guess pre-designed out that would showcase them stacked on top of each other? Because my only concern would be how would that affect the square footage if a staircase was, designed into the home, because it's 430 is kind of tight as far as square footage. I mean, it looks like it's a great use of the space, but I would want to make sure that, the
Would be
staircase will be well designed. So I don't know if you guys have already thought that part through.
Great question. Yes, our manufacturer has, and we have those. So we're actually, our web designer is still adding it to the new page, to the page right now. So within the next 1 week, you'll see new photos here, and I'll actually send out a notice to everybody and that has been updated. You'll see new photos and videos of what the stackable looks like, because we have them. We just wanted to get everything buttoned up with that manufacturer because they had a 25% financing, so we have to hook them up with our financing.
Right.
Yeah, so it's that's the process. If anybody wants something customizable, bring them to us because we'll get them to hook you up with the financing, get them, if it's not, if it, even if what we have isn't looking exactly like what you want, still we can still go out and help you get another option and bring it with the financing.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, great questions.
How many enter and exit doors is it?
I believe it's two, one in the front and then one in the back. Um, let me confirm it on the schematic here. So here's the schematic. It's about 20 feet by 20 feet, and it's, I think it's 16 or 17 feet high in
Mm-hmm.
height. So you can see there's the front door, and then no, these are windows. Yeah, I think it's actually one door, one entry for this particular
Just
unit,
one
but
entranceway?
yeah, but with the stackable, it's different. So with the stackable, I'll get you all those schematics and add them to this page as well for you.
Okay.
And then of course there's the customizable.
Okay.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Yeah, here's another better view of the doorway. So actually, it does look like there could be two doorways. So see, there's one on this side, and then
Mm-hmm.
another big main doorway here on this side.
Okay.
Yes. All right.
Thank you.
Absolutely. What else we got?
Do you guys work with real estate agents?
Absolutely. Yeah, we would love to work with real estate agents. We do have a shared commission structure. So we allow them to share 50/50 in our 50/50 in our commission. And also if they add in margin for their area, for their client, for their added value, we can allow them to do that as well to a certain degree. So that's how we work with our manufacturer. They give us that opportunity. So we're an impact company. So we personally don't add much margin. We really limit it. We go
Mm-hmm.
more so against the manufacturer to give us a cut of what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah,
So
like
do you guys
that.
meet with attorneys for like closings and all that good stuff?
No, we don't need to supply attorneys for these.
Okay,
Yeah, you don't really need these for these. Just got the mortgage lender, and
got you.
their counsel can explain stuff to you as well.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Yes, great questions.
Is there like a link for the referral for the real estate agent? Because I'm a realtor and I would definitely like some clients to look into this.
Absolutely. Um, I'll get you that through Julius. And it's really those people who raise their hand and say that they're interested in that as well, because it's really going to be something where that opportunity could close off soon, and those who got in will have a whole territory, because we're also going to be sending leads to people as well who are closers to, because we're generating a lot with our team, with our technology.
Mhm.
And so we're going to have a lot of leads and things of that nature. But anyways, I'll let Julius handle that, because basically what he does is he's the overseer of that group. So he would get 10% of your deals. And
Mhm.
same thing, if you refer somebody, you would get 10% of their deals. We got a question also from Gerald.
Yeah, how you doing, brother?
Yes.
So I'm wondering, do y'all work with the VA? So
Mhm.
the VA home loans and everything?
Great question. Yes, we do. Our lender also provides VA home loans as low as 3% money down.
Perfect, perfect.
Mhm. Thank you for your service, brother.
Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, Julius, you have a great community here, man. So I'm excited to get behind the scenes too with the community, and be tapping in here and there. Um, because I'm sure there's more opportunities as well that will come down the funnel. But this one is really one that we want our people to act on, because who knows what's going to happen with the interest rates and the financing, right? Everything we think
Mhm.
is available, but it suddenly changes out of nowhere. So now is the time. This next 6 month period to a year period, this year is really where we know we're locked in on this rate, with our financiers. Yes.
So I know I see that the company is out of Santa Monica. My question would be, where do you guys import your materials, or is that something that you guys produce home here in America?
Great question. So import, yes, our manufacturers are offshore, but they have Florida offices, and as well as California and different states as well. So they're familiar with U.S. Like they sell direct. They sell primarily through people like me, through our companies. Through
Mhm.
companies. They don't sell direct. So because of that, they're even more compliance cautious. You know what I'm saying? So they do import, they're doing bulk. They're one of the, globally, they're probably one of the best innovators in the space right now that can provide these at scale. If you look at the biggest company in the space right now, that's worth like a couple $1 billion, and you look at what they have a back orders of like 1,000 back orders, because their stuff is extra stylish on the outside, but a lot of their stuff doesn't get approved. So people will spend money, and then they'll go and try to get the permitting. They get the pre-order, and then they try to get the permitting, and it fails for some reason. That's crazy, right? And that can happen because they're building it. If they're doing stick build, or if they're building it, it varies for each municipality, each city, right? Even
Mhm.
down to the city level. And so to have manufactured homes that come from the factory, you're going to give up a little bit on the outside stylish, but you're going to get something sustainable that survived the Florida hurricanes, that survived, uh, earthquakes and things of that nature, as opposed to something that just looks nice on the outside, costs a whole lot more or something, and then it just breaks down, and doesn't have that appreciation long term for the actual property in the end. You know what I'm saying? Because it takes years to see, obviously, when you're going to sell that property, how that's going to be truly evaluated. But we know that ADUs typically increase properties from 30 to 40%. So as long as you have one that can stand the test of time, that's going to happen. So these are your best bet for an investment of an ADU that can stand the test of time.
My follow-up question would be, being that the products are imported, where's it coming from? Is it coming from China, or
Europe.
are you at liberty to share that?
Yeah, I can share that. It's Europe.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. But actually, I think they do have other factories. So I think Europe is their main factory, and they have another one in like Philippines or something like that, but not China. Yeah, so that's good because we know that there's tariff on steel imports from China that's coming up.
Exactly what I was asking. Oh, we've
And
been
that's
here
why I
before
also
with
say
Trump.
act now because you never know what happens with prices anyways, right? In general.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly. Thank you for answering that.
brilliant. Hmm.
So do they have to work through your lenders, your preferred lenders, or can people get their own lenders in the like outside of your company?
Yes, you can use your own lender. Absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely. Some people can even want to use cash, more
Right.
mixture of cash and financing.
Okay.
Hmm. Yeah.
I've noticed that the homes are it's placed on a slab. So how do you anchor it just in case of because it's smaller and say if a tornado or something happens, how's the home anchored into the land?
That's right. I think it's literally like bolted in because it's steel foundation. So I think it's literally power bolted in. I'm not sure because I'm not a construction person. I have to get the exact answer, but I've seen sort of the diagrams, and I think that's basically, most what we do is we get a general contractor that will actually do that slabbing and installation, and so they'll provide for you the exact methods that they use, but it's standard. Maybe somebody using construction can answer on the phone.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yes.
And does the price of delivery change based off of location?
Delivery changes slightly, but it's only, delivery is also covered usually by the loan, depending on the product. So it's usually a couple $1,000s in the range of like $2,000 to $4,000 or something. It depends on how far you are from the port, but yeah, they can, well, we got the delivery from, we do port and then we do ground delivery as well. So it's not a problem.
Gotcha.
Yes. Good questions. So I have a question as well as, how many here feel like they would like more information or feel like they would be able to potentially act in this quarter? Like raise a show of hands. All right. Okay. I see Nikita. Okay. I see. Okay. More hands coming up. Paris, America Harden. All right. Awesome. Damascus. Awesome. I hope you're recording these names, Julius. And then how many people okay, any more show of hands for potential this quarter? Want more information? Nacy, Nacy Evans, okay.
I would like to show my hand. I'm not sure how to do that here, but my hand is raised.
Oh, who said that?
Takeda Duncan.
Oh, yep, Nikita, yep. We saw your hand is raised actually. Excellent. So, okay, and then how many, would be interested in the sales representative opportunity? You don't even have to be a licensed mortgage broker because you'll be getting a commission on the actual value, an actual home on the as a sub distributor almost. So, who's interested in that? Damascus, America. Okay, Mike C. All right, so Julius will lead that, conversation amongst y'all. Great. So that's what I had today. But more questions though. And I'm sure there are a few more burning questions.
That was Takeda. That wasn't Nikita. I
Oh,
know how to raise my hand. Takeda says she don't.
oh,
Yeah, I'm still learning this. I listen, I appreciate your time. I mean, I look at the ways of how you could stand out from other companies, and I believe strongly during the times that we're living right now with the hurricanes and the weathers are getting worse and harder, and your steel factory company, it definitely stands out.
yes, that's the goal. Um, because we're also talking all the time to institutional investors. And so we needed something that is literally, a $1 billion fund in real estate can come and look at an impact strategy to say all of our housing, why don't we build these boys quarters, these townhomes, tiny homes in, X percentage of them and we have the technology that can do the analysis as well in bulk. So yeah, it's really an opportunity where
So then you got to make sure to ask for
you have to have
screenshots.
the right product where even an institution can
But for example, guys,
invest in it.
tomorrow night at 9
And
o'clock,
definitely, that's what I
we
want to
have
bring to my
over
people.
24 hours to get as many people packed out on that call as
Lots of
possible.
background noise.
Every single night of the week, Noah shares.
But awesome. Yeah, Julius, these are great questions.
So,
Sir, yes, sir. Go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah, so with my interest, I was looking at like potentially, in a perfect world, creating a tiny home community. My question to you would be, would you guys be able to help with the infrastructure? Say if I was to get the land, acquire the properties from you guys, now we're talking about electricity and water. How far do you guys go into helping with the process of building a community?
So we can go as far as you want it. So, it's it can be the initial just to help you to get the ADUs, to get the sale, because you can fit 10 of these on 1 acre. And we can get individual mortgages up to 10 in one batch. But if you wanted to do like a loan over the whole like portfolio, like a portfolio loan is what they call it, then we could help you source that as well. That's a little different than a mortgage loan. But then so let's say we took the first route, 10 separate mortgages, or you could do one financing. Either way, we could help with the financing, we could help with the general contracting, getting everything. And we've done a lot of financial analysis for these tiny home villages as well, because we've been looking at converting mobile home parks, and we've even had some developers bring us deals that they wanted us to help raise with, which we said no, but they're still available. So we have developers who are experts at tiny home villages as well. We can recommend to you.
That's butter. Yeah, like that a lot.
Okay, good. Let's connect on email. Julius, we'll exchange. Will you handle that, Julius, or as well? For people who are interested also in other kinds of advisory, we can connect on email as well.
Most definite. So everybody who's interested, just shoot me a DM, direct message, and then we'll move forward with that.
Excellent. Who said that? Was that America?
Well, I am interested. I didn't say that, but I am interested in development as well.
Okay, yeah, I saw your mic was off. Who was that? Was that
Mike C?
Mike C, yep, that's right. Okay. Awesome. Yeah, maybe anybody else want to tell more about their interest or kind of what their thinking is, get some initial advice for your properties.
Yeah, I'll go. I mean, with that, I was thinking maybe possibly creating a reentry program. But definitely, what was going on down south, a lot of people are going to need housing because of displacement. And so the concept still transfers over. And with what's going on now, you can kind of get pretty creative, but at the same time, realistic about what you can actually get done. So I'm glad there's a lot of advisory that you guys provide in different angles, which ways to go about it.
I love that, brother. Yes, the reentry program, something where like basically our client is doing, one of our clients, and end of January, actually, I'm heading out to Northern California. We have a client up there that it's a church, and they're doing similar thing, tiny home village for. They have programs, and they call it their school of transformations for recovering addicts and people coming from trauma situations and displacement and homelessness. And they provide them housing right now, parsonages, and so they hired us to help them increase that, and we help them launch a community land trust so that the land they currently own, they can put their rules out to developers that build and lease the land, so that developers don't own the neighborhood as they come in, because it's an opportunity zone, but they instead are owning the buildings and the improvements. And then they have another thing that they're doing, which is tiny home villages as well as tiny homes, and they're doing rent to own. They're doing different stuff, creative stuff, because they have grant money, they have different sources of financing. We're getting them as well. So when you start thinking bigger, like what you want to do from an impact standpoint, if you get to that point where you're doing that type of stuff, yes, we also can advise on how to get grants and things of that nature as well. So, like for example, we had a group I was just recently at a conference in Chicago, and now we have a group out of Oklahoma that they already have a nonprofit, but they're setting up another one to pursue the community land trust concept, and they're raising the money so that they can retain us. You know what I'm saying? So we're that open. If, you know, even if somebody doesn't have the money, we're open to initially advise, guide people in the right direction, because we know that later on they're going to want to bring us on. There's nobody else doing some of the unique stuff that we're doing out in this market. So definitely keep following Conscious Markets.
I appreciate you sharing that, man, because actually my church, we have 22 acres, 22.5 exactly, up in Orville. And I've been trying to develop something along these lines. And
you said Orville.
Yep, up in Orville.
Oh, that's our community that we're just talking about. The Orville. This can't be.
But it's definitely a small world. But we're not the same church. But I'm sure that it's all for a reason. I'll put it like that.
Oh my God, dude! We're literally launching the Orville Community Land Trust this month.
Nice.
This can't be a coincidence, you know. So
nah, not at all.
I love it.
Now we have a potential second church. You're not the Father's House Church, right?
No, we're a church out of Menlo Park called Mount Olive AOH Church of God.
Okay, I'm gonna need the written from you later, but so I didn't hear the full thing, but that's brilliant, because you know what? I've been thinking, what is the second phase? How do we bring in more churches in the community? Is that God's will as well? Or does he want us just to, you know, start with this first church, because you only need one sponsor behind a portfolio. You can grow that portfolio to 100 million with that one sponsor, even if they're starting with just 7 figures, right? But when you start bringing in other churches now, it's all about, can we get in one spirit? Because the more you bring in, the more infighting there often been. When we've advised groups, we've come into situations where we've seen that. And so I'm so happy to hear this, brother. This tells me, because I lead a spiritual life, so when I see this tells me the direction I should be leaning in for my mission. So this is huge. And also I say to everybody who's on the phone now, witness this, man, I just put a blessing over each one of y'all, pray for each and every one of y'all as well, that, you know, you're on this call for a reason as well. Julius, I already know that we connected through our brother for a reason. So yeah, definitely.
God is good, man. I look forward to talking to you more.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I know you guys have more questions, man. And also Hugh is on the call. Hugh, if you want to add anything else you want to add in, you can go ahead and I'll take the floor if these
That's
guys.
awesome. Hey Hugh, didn't even see him. That's the brother who introduced us. Please, Hugh, if you can hear us, hop on.
Quick question. I don't know if you already answered it, or if I missed it, or I just didn't understand what was being said. But with these homes, I know it's good for open construction or whatever. Are they going to, is the loan going to include the construction itself, for as the plumbing, the underground plumbing and electrical coming straight to the home and everything like that?
Mm-hmm. Yes, usually the product, depending on the product, it should include the construction. Otherwise, we have another product that like we call them renovation loans, where you can get the construction and then refinance into a mortgage. But for the most part, everybody should be able to qualify for the mortgage that should cover the construction. Mm-hmm. Good question.
Hey, I've been struggling to unmute myself. This is brilliant right here. It's always nice to connect individuals who are like-minded. I've been on some calls here periodically. I was on the previous call, I think it was about 2 weeks ago, where we discussed the ADU initially, and notify you all that Ifani will be joining to give more information. So here it is. And this won't be the last call neither. This is something that we intend to do as time progresses here. And as Ifani's already shared, there'll be more information, especially as we progress and scale the systems here. So rest assured, there's more brilliance in the work. And man, I'm just on standby, and this is just good. I'm just smiling cheek to cheek because I could just feel the energy, the aura. And then along with the information being shared, yeah, this is good. So yeah, that's all I have to say. Thank you all.
Man, thank you all. I have a little extra time too. I know we have 6 minutes left here, but I have extra time if there are any closing questions or comments, and then we definitely will not be my last time on.
I got a question.
Yes.
I'm just curious about the insurance. Like, how does the insurance work with the tiny homes and a regular home?
Great question. So they use your existing homeowners insurance usually. So the mortgage lender will want to know you have an existing homeowner's insurance on your existing land. If not, then I believe they'll connect you with insurance if you need, or we can also look up some for you as well if needed. But usually, yeah, I know some people they had homeowners, insurance lapse, such as even now in the California fires because of just how high the premiums have been in the last few years, and so we are looking for a solution for that where if they didn't have insurance, how can they get the mortgage for the ADU? So we're also talking to groups that are interested to put together like basically like philanthropic funds to help people essentially with the down payment. If they can't get the lowest down payments, then or even if they can get the low down payment, even still based on need. So that's another interesting component, which is you based on need means because you have land doesn't mean that you don't have a need. So that's kind of where that comes from.
Okay, and then one more quick question. So I know you keep talking about California and a lot of the other states. Do you see an uprise in tiny homes in Georgia?
Oh yeah. I think Georgia is going to be an excellent market for it, because I've seen its usefulness in urban, I've seen its usefulness in rural at this point. I just gave two examples, and so Georgia has both. And so I think this could be a hit. Now, I know you also have had increasing property values as well and increasing homeowners insurance as well and things of that nature. So this is going to help with disaster preparedness as well. Definitely.
All right, thank you.
Mm-hmm. But Julius, what do you think? You want to chime in on that for Atlanta?
I mean, I really don't. I'm pretty much, I'll let you take the floor on this one. Like I said, I'm still learning as well from you, everybody. So yeah, I mean, I will be taking over the Atlanta division, overseeing everything in Atlanta. So if you guys have any questions, I can get the answers from Ifani here. So just reach out to me directly. Whoever wants to, get direct access to Ifani, let me know. We'll make that connection. And let's praise God. Let's, everything, I believe everything is energy. Everybody that's on this call is on this call for a reason. We all have purposes. And let's just keep doing what we're doing and
Hey,
getting.
can I chime in real quick? Sorry to interject, Julius.
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
I lived in Atlanta myself, recently leaving Atlanta. And I think some of the misconception, if you're not in Atlanta or in Georgia, should I say, is that everywhere is like Atlanta. I lived in Buckhead, so everywhere is not like Buckhead or Marietta or Sandy Springs. There's rural areas. Much of Georgia is rural anyway, or not as urban as we may think. So the use case that you shared, Ifani, on this call, I think applies to Atlanta 1,000%, and that could be leveraged. So yeah, I would agree with that sentiment for sure.
Yeah, because right with California, it works really well because property values are so expensive. So in the urban area, it works really well for that reason. Increase the value of your property 30-40% over there is huge. And then, in the rural area, it's just you have more space. And so when you have more space, it makes more sense to build even more one, two, even multiple ADU units on your backyard, right? So you can really increase the usefulness. And I call that in rural areas, I really call that generational stability because you could have people with low income, you could have people coming out of different situations and they can live with you. You can take care of your neighbors, your friends, and your family. And you can do that in the suburbs and you can also do that in the city too. But it's different use cases, but there's always, I think, a really strong use case for this impact product. Yes, absolutely. Awesome.
Awesome. Does anybody have any questions, anything they want to add in, any statements, anything like that?
Yeah, I got one quick question. Are all of them the same design, the same exact design, or are those different type of blueprints for them?
Yeah, so like I was saying, basically, this design is the main core design, right? Then we have the stackable, which it actually looks different. It's more stylish. I'll have pictures and videos of that up within the next couple days to a week. So then I'll send out a notification to everybody that it's updated. We have our web designer working on it right now. and we just had to, like I was saying, just finalize the financing for that. So we'll have the stackable ones up here as well. So you'll see that in the schematics designs, and then you'll have I don't know if we have anything as a sample for custom. Yeah, you can kind of see some custom ones here. So if you go on the web page, you go to Tiny Home Villages section, you'll see some custom, what like custom tiny homes can kind of look like. This is actually in Detroit. This is something that one of our partners, she was on tour of their village. This is a different group, but this kind of shows what an existing tiny home village looks like, one that's of decent quality for a low income community, not like, one where it's just like a bunch of containers, small little containers or something, or some uh just less powerful structures than steel and brick and all these, so yeah, you can see another example here of a tiny home village with solar panels. So there's a lot you can do with a tiny home village from an affordability, sustainability standpoint.
Okay, so you guys do like customable like outside, so not everything looks the same, because like in order to like do the village, like I'm gonna want to like like make it different.
Right.
Like everybody's gonna want something different,
Right. So with that, yes, you balance out, cost, time of development, and all that stuff. So as you build out your plan, and we help with that, as we've been managing projects from small to institutional grade projects for the last 3+ years, and then of course in our personal careers for longer than that, before we came together. And so our team will really help kind of guide that sort of project to say, what's your timeline? Okay, and how do we execute that with your local builders that we've contacted, got their estimated timelines versus manufactured housing, and comparing the costs, the ROI, return on your investment, as well as what the demand is, right? So there's that combination of factors. We work with developers and general contractors to get an understanding of all those factors. And then we look at the impact as another layer and just say, okay, now how does this impact the community? Is this going to add value to the community? If you do it the right way, absolutely. It's not going to disrupt a lot of people will complain. And so you want to avoid places that have HOA sometimes. Or if they have HOA, we just say, just find out what the restrictions are for tiny homes built on your property. That's it. Because a lot of people have that not in my backyard mentality, right? So, but the good thing about these is they look good, and they fit into you want to fit into your property. You know what I'm saying? So they fit in from the perspective of they're small and they're ecologically friendly. They're always sustainable. You can use solar, all that stuff, and it fits as long as you get the utilities hooked up, which is the cost of installation. One of the costs of installation, you have something where it's basically a standalone home, but it's not so tall that people can see it over a bunch of fences and stuff like that, unless you stack it up, right? So there's different designs. So if you want the one that, we can get the design that fits with the neighborhood if need be, if that's what's required by the HOA. All of it can be done. We just have advisory fees. So we just have to be able to retain us, or you go out and raise some grants and some initial sponsors, which we're an expert of advising people on how to get sponsors to get started on these type of projects.
Indubitably. I appreciate the in-depth answer, brother.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, before I fry everybody with too much information, any other questions, or how are we feeling?
I got one more.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
So it's gonna appreciate in value with these tiny homes.
Yes, absolutely. That's the difference between these and an RV, especially if you own the land, right? So if you own the land, then the tiny home will appreciate like a regular home. Yep.
All right, that's all I wanted to ask.
Yes, inflation protection, right? So like, compare this to investing in like an insurance policy. Much better investment. Much more you can do with it. Much more creative that you can sell out of it. You can still borrow against it. Like you can borrow against an insurance policy, but the highest return on it is if you die. Here's an investment that's aligned with life and multiplication and duplication, which is, we know, are God's principles. So I'm really excited about this, bringing this to our people.
I love it, man. I love it. You kind of sound like Dollar Bill from Players Club because all I hear is money, money. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah. But impact and money, man. Double bottom line is what we call it. You know, the double bottom line, you know, social and financial. We don't have to always sacrifice one or the other. Some things are just good no matter what. You know, this product is one of them. You know, people can argue about different type of products, but this is a product that you can rent it for high, and if you ever need to be philanthropic, you can give it what you can have somebody stay there for free. You know, it's up to you. So it's such an impactful product like that. All right. Yeah, excellent. So any other questions closing out? Thank you. Thank you all for staying over. You know, we're over a couple minutes. Julius, you want to wrap us out?
Yeah, let me go ahead and wrap it up. So if you guys have any further questions or you want any further information, if Ifani is going to be a part of the community as well, but you guys can reach out to me. I will get you guys connected. Like I said, you know, as we go, this is still folding out. So there's new information coming out. You know, all of this is at the beginning stage. So we're still learning, we're still implementing different strategies. So if you guys have any questions or you know, while you're on this call, if you thought about a question or when we get off the call, if something come to mind, write it down, right? Because this is not the last time Ifani is going to be on the call. So I feel like this is just all by God's will, right? Everybody that's on this call was meant to be. Let's just keep striving. Like I said, let's keep, you know, putting our ideas and whatnot together, and let's just help as many people as we can. So like I said, anybody have any questions, anything, feel free to reach out. Feel free to reach out, right? Let's get you guys going. Let's get these housing started, right? Let's start flowing in the right direction. Let's start changing people's lives, right? That's what it's about, right?
Incredible. Well said, man. I would love to see how many units can be produced out of this group within the next 3 years, for real. Because it sounds like already people got multiple dozens in the vision, and I love that. So God bless this. God bless y'all vision and your execution of it with resource and with acceleration, man. So thank you, Julius. I love the spirit of the group as well. So I'll let you wrap it up. And then that's all I have for the night.
Awesome. Like I said, anybody else have any further questions before we wrap it up? Statements, concerns, anything? All righty. Awesome, guys. Well, it was nice having everybody on this call. Like I said, it's not going to be the last call we have. Jot down your questions if it comes to mind. I'm going to let you guys know when Ifani is getting back on the call. I will post it in the community so everybody can be aware, right? Everybody who's interested in, you know, investing or interested, you might know somebody who want to invest. You might want to be a sales representative, whatever it is, right? Reach out to me. Let's make the connection. Let's make it happen. And let's get to it. Awesome. All right, guys. Everybody have a great rest of your night. And I will see you guys on the next meeting on, what is it, Thursday?
Appreciate it, man. So much value in this call. Seriously, appreciate everybody who spoke, man. Thank you so much.
Awesome. All right, guys. Have a good rest of you guys' night.
Night.
Much respect, Julius. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.